one additional thing that's possible is connecting the donor to the outcome, you know, and having, as Charles I think is an expert in, reinforcing on the moment. Once you give, you're actually connected to a cause, to an opportunity to associate with a cause. Talk about that a little bit and how donors choose leverages that.
Yeah, I think nonprofit organizations initially saw the internet as a way to consummate transactions, get donations more efficiently and from a broader group of people. But for us, the exciting thing is the way that the web can be used not just to capture donations, but to foster relationships between people who are giving and those who are benefiting. Although, to Joey's point, increasingly the relationship is peer-to-peer, and we see this in the donors who support classroom project requests on our site and come out of that experience feeling that they got more joy out of the donation than the students to whom they had given books or the classroom that they had sent on a field trip.
Because talk a little bit about your why question, the why question on the checkout.
Yeah, there's an invitation to every donor to tell the classroom why they chose their project to support. And we see donors saying everything from, I was reading this Dr. Seuss book to my kids last night, and so when I saw your teacher's request for the very same book, I felt like it was just the thing for me to fund. Or we see some donors leave really emotional messages to the classroom about supporting their project because of a deceased family member. In any case, 87% of our donors, after they've spent 10 minutes finding a classroom project that speaks to them, after they've spent a few minutes entering their credit card number and checking out, stick around, even though most people would think of this as the time to exit. They stick around because they want to converse with the people that they've just helped, and they compose this message explaining the project they supported.
Awesome.
I think that's such a brilliant tool, because most people know how to connect one-on-one with donors when you're face-to-face, but how you actually use technology to do that is something that many nonprofits are struggling with, and I really think you have started to crack that code of motivation and relationship building online.
And I'd like to think that some of the exchanges between donors who have only given $5 and the classrooms that have received those donations are as rich and as almost as flesh and blood as if a staff member had lunch with that donor, with the thank you letters that the donors get, and then their ability to actually have a conversation with the classroom they supported.
So you've built it into your operating model, right? And fundraising integrated in with technology to the operating model, which very few people have been able to figure out, right?
That's right, and really for us, a piece of our mission is building what we refer to as citizen philanthropy, enabling someone who has just $1 to give to get the same level of choice and transparency and vivid feedback from the recipients that until not long ago was reserved for millionaire benefactors.
I think the coolest application I've seen yet is the Save the Children campaign for community health workers, and it's goodgoes.org. And they're now tracking the community health workers, 250,000 of them around the world, who have these little satchels and they walk village to village, and they have cell phones. And so you, by GPS, can actually track each one of them. And so you as a donor can connect to that individual community health worker and then have a conversation over time with that community health worker and find out what they're doing. And they become, by definition, an avatar of you as the donor.
Well, that's the real-time impact of technology, right? That's the separation that doesn't exist anymore, because you can get that real-time feedback and feel like where your dollar went is exactly where you're
and build a relationship with that person.
That's right.
Who you say, that's me.
And that's the outcome. The outcome for foundations is often metrics, but to get to those outcomes, you often have to have intervening variables or outcomes. And so just knowing how many villages that person touches, or how many health centers that person might be in, or how many vaccinations they gave, is the beginning of the indication of reaching your outcome. And that kind of data now can be tracked much more rapidly than previously.